Science and faith. Before entering this topic, first we want to know about which is the tool or entity we are using for learning everything. What is the essential entity for knowing smallest to highest or everything? That's very important aspect. You are knowing your own self-knowledge. I am starting with thought. I am experiencing the entire universe. That is also thought. I am an organ or system or become an organism. All the concepts knowing because of thought. Without thought, I have no awareness or knowledge about self. The same way the world. Mean, when we want to know something, anything, thought is an essential factor. Without thought, here is no knowledge. Here is no awareness. Here is no experience. All the experience, all the knowledge, everything starting from thought, developing because of thought. Any thought is entering, that entering into the thought. Without thought, here is no entity. As a living organism, as a knowing individual, all the knowing process starting from thought. Then we want to think about actually what it is thought. Now Swami is interacting with you. You have own thought. Swami now interacting with us. This is a thought. Swami sharing some informations. That is also thought. This thought, as a human being, byproduct of neurons, is an information. Receiving the five senses and storing, that become memory, then recollecting and applying. This process is going on. Neurotransmission, the basic entity, electromagnetic field. In that field, gravitation is there, magnetic field is there, electrical field is there. Means thought, the byproduct of gravity, magnetic field, and electrical field. Now Swami is interacting with the sound. When Swami is talking, so he says Swami is delivering These words is a subjective, considering so you are listening, that is object. Somi's sound also because of mechanical byproduct. When you are listening, your eardrum, that is mechanical vibration, byproduct. That is your sound. The Somi's sound and your sound, mere mechanical byproduct. That is energy. Through the sound, Somi is sharing thoughts. Through the sound, you are learning, you are listening thoughts. Any knowledge, if you want to analyze, thought knowledge is very important. That's why the reason any topic, any knowledge we are going to analyze, we need fundamental knowledge or basic unit of the entity or the universe. That's we want to know. That is a very important aspect. Then only you can able to understand thought concept in thorough manner. You want to understand properly, that's very important. Before entering that knowledge field, we can share something, because all the knowledge giving and taking, not for unhappiness, but for happiness. Somi's talk, not at all sharing happiness, it has become war. Now we are experiencing thought-based happiness. The same way you are experiencing thought-based unhappiness. Without thought, you have no equipmental-based happiness. The same way unhappiness. All the happiness and unhappiness because of thought. Please smile, all of them. Please. With the smile, we can sit here. We can share. Because without happiness, so getting the knowledge with the more shadow. When you be happy, more light also. We need light. I don't want to gloomy. I don't want to unhappy. I want to always be cheerful. The happiness is very important aspect. Please smile, all of them. Please laugh. Yeah, that's why we can start with this thought, happy thought. That is very ha 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 ha. Please, all of them, please. This is a thought. Now when we are laughing, other thoughts, just a moment, going to stop. Or we not aware about other thoughts. All the thought focusing to the happiness. Because only one end, that is happiness. This way, all the experience, when we are analyzing, that time we can able to find out this reality. When you laugh, can you explain? Anybody can explain about happiness? Anybody? Anybody can explain about the unhappiness? Your anger? Your love? Anything you can explain through words? It is impossible. Because emotion is a chemistry. When you are laughing, your chemistry is functioning. Before laugh, thought is there. After laugh, thought always there. But between thought and first thought to second thought, before the laugh and after the laugh, between there is a gap is there. That is a duration is there. That time, functioning the emotion, the chemistry is working. Thought have two ends. One is information end, digital end. Another is chemical end or chemical process. Thought have to function. That process. One is a digital process. Another is chemical process. Each and every thought generating chemistry also. That chemistry 0 to 100. That's why the reason sometimes chemistry is low, we're not aware. Thought digital end called intellect. Emotion end called mind. Totality of emotion called mind. Totality of digital information called intellect. All the emotions starting from digital information thought. That thought, according to the density of the thought, emotion is generating. What type of emotion, according to new thoughts, are generating? One thought become emotion. Sometimes so many thoughts are generating. That's we call desires, imaginations. So many words we are using. One thought generating so many thoughts because of the emotion. Means the first stored thought applied, generating more thoughts, and these thoughts become the digital format. That is become memory. According to the emotion, thought want to become memory or not. Some thoughts are passing thoughts that we not at all remembering. Thought is generated, but not at all stored. Stored thoughts called memory. All the thoughts, one way or another way, according to the surroundings or situation, is coming back. According to the emotion, we want to reduce the thought or we want to develop the thought. That process is going on. This digital end and emotion end. Digital end, the byproduct of magnetic field. Emotion is the electrical field. Memory is the gravitation field. All the thoughts are vibrating because of that gravitation. The fundamental vibration based on gravity. That is the middle frequency of I particle. That called the red matter. The universal fundamental particle called I particle. That I particle is a vibration within three frequencies. Middle frequency is a gravitation frequency, gravitation field. The gravity become, frequency is increasing, that gravity become magnetic field. This gravitation frequency become low frequency. Wavelength is increased. That is electrical field. Where the first thought is starting, from the I particle, that is of basic thought. Basic thought is I particle. I particle contain three frequencies. One is middle frequency, that is red matter. Everything creating creative energy. That is. Now science already reached universal harmony. The gravitational field and work already proved. There is no doubt also. According to the gravitation, the field are changing. Sometimes it's negligible, sometimes it's visible, and we can feel. Without gravity, here is no vibration. Gravity means is providing the vibration, the basic vibration starting from gravity. That is a red matter. When it is become dense, high frequency, that's become dense, it's a black matter. Low frequency is transparent. The low frequency, that's become electrical field. The I particle and thought, the same function, because as an individual, their life starting from thought. The universe starting from I particle. Thought also byproduct of I particle. Bioentity, when we are analyzing where from the human being or bio creation, where it is starting. Thought is essential. That we call desire. That become emotion. That emotions, the byproduct is all the living beings. Without thought, here is no emotion. Without emotion, there is no creation. The bio being, the I particle, acting, they become thought. The I particle becomes thought. The three frequency I particle, when it's vibrating, red matter is vibrating. Vibration means giving and taking. Energy is giving and taking. The potential energy we are giving, that going to down. When we are giving, that become going. That process is going on. The potential become kinetic. This process is going on. This is a basic vibration of the universe. When it's vibrating, one starting point to that, when it's vibration, that the potential become kinetic. This change or this transformation, potential become kinetic plane. That's we need a time. First concept of time. One leg to another leg, there is a gap, duration. That is time. The gap becomes space. According to density, the quality is establishing red and black and white quality. When it's vibrating, there's a friction. Heat is increasing. Heat is producing. Heat is there. Heat. When it is heat, there is light is there. Light means 0 to 100. You can just think. Gamma to radio. You can think the spectrum. This light, heat, space, time, frequency, wavelength. These are the byproduct of I particle. The same way, without thought, we have no vibration. Means in our body, there is no digital information, never going to function. The digital information never become chemistry. There is no change. When it is want to change, energy exchange is necessary. Giving and taking process is necessary. I particle vibrating with that process, the same process, same quality, same function is. That is the basic function of thought. Which are this is low frequency and high frequency. 3 wavelengths. That is a digital. One wavelength, how much lengths are there, or how much graphical, the giving and taking. One single I particle, 3 frequencies are there. Middle frequency become red, high frequency become black, low frequency become white. This understanding is very important. Without this base, you can go through the thought plane. Because thought is functioning according to this process. Why you are thinking? Because you have some memory. Digital memories are there. When it is downloading, according to the situation, we are downloading. Which are the thoughts downloading? According to thought quality, that emotion going to develop. Usually all the informations have some mathematical calculations are there at the digital formation. Black matter become 1, white matter becomes 0. Our thought, digital information in our genetic code, when we are analyzing, we can see this data. This digital data is going to deciding human beings' life and experience, everything. Means all the lifespan encoded in digital form. That is our memory. Our life starts from that memory. When we are born on the earth and living, so many new informations also we are gathering, we are feeding also, we are storing with the help of past memory. The previous knowledge is very important. Thoughts, one part is knowledge, another part is emotion. Information part we called intellect. Emotional part we called mind. Most of the people misusing this word. Sometimes mind we are using for intellect. Nobody doesn't know what is the difference between intellect and mind. Totality of information called intellect. Totality of emotion called mind. Without thought, there is no emotion. Without emotion, there is no thought. Both are interconnected existence. Two phases of thought. One is the information phase. Another is emotion phase. All this information we are gathering, we are taking, we are receiving through our 5 senses. Now Swami is sharing this knowledge because of the senses. Now you are seeing Swami because you are using your eyes. You are listening Swami, you are using Swami's sound. The 5 senses always opening outside. We are searching information from outside. All the information, when we can able to analyze in digital way, like maths, 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen become 1 molecule, that is water molecule. That is science. Our thought analyzing in the term of maths, and proving. When it is proved, that becomes science. All the science starting from hypothesis. All the theories, law of motion or gravitation or thermal, any philosophy, any scientific theories starting from hypothesis. That hypothesis, when it is going to prove mathematically, the hypothesis become theory. When that theory applied and application plane, it's proved, that become scientific fact, scientific reality. That's we call scientific reality. Means science searching outer world through the help of logical and scientific temper, means mathematical outlook. We are assessing that and proving, that become science. All the scientific knowledge based on that. This is a science or scientific knowledge. When you are analyzing our body also, the physical body, through the help of outer equipment, that becomes science. When you are analyzing our cells or molecules or protein or any subtle part of the physical entity, with the help of equipment, tools, instrument, we are analyzing with the help of mathematics and proving, that becomes science. Health-wise is our diagnosing, physical diagnosis, clinical findings, doing that work. That is science. Clinical data, findings. These are the scientific data. All these data we are analyzing with the help of subjective tool. Means subjective 5 elements or 5 senses. We are receiving all the information through the 5 senses. This information, the science, we are traveling towards the universe, outer world. The same 5 senses we are closing and looking inside. We are opening our 5 senses inwardly. Usually we are opening outwardly. When we can able to open inwardly these 5 senses, when your emotion you are experiencing, that time without your knowledge, this inner doors are opening. That information, that that experience, that emotion, when you are experiencing that time, you not at all aware about that. Means there is no thought. Before and after, thought is there. When the emotion is functioning, that emotional plane, that time, that emotion, usually we can't assess, because that speed is higher than light. Because this is we are using the light, it external photon. The inside we are using internal photon, that is higher than external photon speed. That's why the reason it's too difficult to find out. That time, just like blind or blank. When you reach the zenith of emotion, that time you become blind. Any experience, any emotion, you can analyze. When you reach the emotion in the height, zenith, that time there is a blackout. After that, this chemistry become data, digital data. That thought, oh, I experience happiness. I got angry. I express jealous. All the emotions we are expressing, all the expressions are memory or digital data. Before the digital data, there is a chemistry is going on. That chemistry called mind. Now we are analyzing gross photon. That is called mixture quantum byproduct. That's become atom and all the levels. Now the chemistry is going on. That time the subtle photon is functioning. That's why the reason gross photon can't identify that. That's why the reason that moment we feel some darkness. Before and after, very clear. Because that become digital format. This chemistry in gross plane or subtle plane or causal plane. This chemistry developing a or creating a darkness. That's why the reason experience chemistry become blind. Which chemistry? Subjective chemistry become blind. Objective chemistry we can read through the equipments. This is a subjective chemistry. This subjective chemistry called faith. Can you follow? This subjective chemistry called the chemistry, that process we are using the word faith. I believe he is happy. Now he is happy. I believe. I think he is not happy. I believe. The subjective experience, usually we are using the word belief or faith. Belief also behind the darkness. Faith also behind the darkness. Both are the byproduct, both terminology, usages based on that darkness. That darkness based that are called faith. Some subjective experience we are going to express through words, means through thoughts. Usually we using the thought for analyzing with the external tools. That is science. We know very well. Childhood onwards, we are studying that way. But unfortunately, nobody not at all giving proper training for subjective plane. The subjective analyzing process also, when we can able to teach and giving to train, definitely the science and faith both have their own digital entity, their own chemical entity. Both are not at all separate entity, because both are the byproduct of thought, or two end of thought. Information end is a digital intellect. Emotional information, digital information called faith. Faith also we are exchanging through thoughts, digital information. Faith also we are explaining through thoughts or digital fact and figures. I forget lead to excitement, transformation. So many words we are using. I am unhappy, I am depressed, I am suppressed. All the terms. The emotion we are expressing through the digital information plane. Means before the chemistry, there is a digital part. After the chemistry, also digital part. Then only knowledge become memory. That is mere information knowledge or chemical knowledge. Both are knowledge. One is information knowledge, another is chemical knowledge. Usually the science, information based on objective chemistry knowledge. All that objective chemistry become digital format. That is science. Inner chemistry become digital format called faith or belief. Most of the people thinking these are different entities. No. Your life starting You are all the knowledge starting from faith. Mother said, he is your father. I am believing that my faith. That's why the reason I am considering father, loving father, caring father. Because of that. First time we use the word, this is son. We believe that is son. S-U-N become N-U-S. When you use that, now we are using that word only. That is a thought. Sun is the thought. The same way we are calculating, we are using in science, pi. Is a concept, is a thought. Everything is a symbol. Symbolical representation. Symbols. We giving behind some information we are providing. We are analyzing and revealing. Faith and science. Science and faith. There is no separate entity. Your life starts from faith. You are existing because of faith and science. Your life totally science and faith. Without science, without chromosome, you have no life. Without a cell, you have no life. These are the concepts based on thought. That thought connecting information and chemistry. You are the byproduct of science and faith. The entire universe is the byproduct of science and faith. All the cosmological concepts, everything starting from faith, then we are proving. Now we are using redshift for analyzing when the earth or the universe originated. Now we are believing Big Bang. That is a concept. Hypothesis, starting from hypothesis. So many evidence we are trying to proving also. Before the Big Bang, this universe coming from the nothing, let's think about it. Before the Big Bang, everything is existing. That we want to. That we are using the tool for cosmic ladder, for traveling beyond the time. From here to how long we can able to travel. That is a ladder. We are using how to climb. These are the information. Anybody have some emotion? They put some effort. They're doing the tapas or constant, continuous effort. That called tapas. As a scientist searching outside. That is become science knowledge. Some people looking inside and searching inner knowledge and trying to proving. That's we call spiritual knowledge. Inner knowledge and outer knowledge. The terminology used and it is sometimes is misinterpreting also. Only the different. One knowledge lead to outer world. Another knowledge lead to inner world. Outer knowledge we called science. Inner knowledge we called, now we are using the word faith or chemistry. The chemistry information, chemistry knowledge, inner chemistry knowledge becomes faith. Outer chemistry knowledge called science. Please make it this definition. Make it clear. Inner chemistry knowledge called faith. Outer chemistry knowledge called science. Both knowledge we are analyzing and proving with the help of five senses are subjective entity. External knowledge, science, through the external element we can prove. But subjective plane, it is too difficult. It is not yet developed. That's why the reason that is become blind or darkness. Both the dimensional search or knowledge generating from chemistry. Behind the chemistry, thought is there. Thought, chemistry, thought. This is the process. Or digital, chemistry, digital. The totality called thought. Please, digital, chemistry, totality called thought. Digital information, chemical information become digital, that thought. That totality called thought. This is very important aspect. That's why the reason thought and science and faith not at all separate entity. We are born because of this science and faith. We are living because of science and faith. When we are living this body, because of this science and faith. Lack of this knowledge, because of that lack of this knowledge, creating all the problems. If you don't want unhappy situation in the universe, in the globe, if you want to peace, definitely this knowledge is essential. When our inner chemistry expanding to outer chemistry, that is outer world, the self, the universe. The outer chemistry become inner chemistry. That is a self. There is no separate entity. Outer water become objective water, the scientific water, where after drink, the part of the body or the jiva, life, energy, that is subjective water. There is no separate. Outer water also H2O, inner water also H2O. There is no different. When you are analyzing the molecule plane or atomic plane, subatomic plane, or the quark or quantum plane, any plane or I particle, there is no separate entity. This knowledge is very important. Today, Swami share this knowledge. Swami not at all coming through this media discussion. But This is very important for present day. A GP, those who are attended, how many people already have clear concept about science and faith? Anybody have any doubt? These are the explanation, not in blind. This is a scientific analyzing process. We are analyzing with the temper of science. Any doubt? Definitely after you can ask also. When we are analyzing self and universe, where is starting? Thought and its chemistry. Thought and its chemistry. Developing thought and its chemistry. When it's vanishing, that is also thought and chemistry. When we are analyzing the universe from the gross plane to subtle plane, or basic unit of the universe, I particle, also basic thought, basic vibration, that is the basic qualities, basic chemistry, that is continuing to everywhere, ever. There is no change. But this combination is changing. Number is changing. Result is impact is changing. Atom number is changing. Elements are changing. The same way, I particle is same. There is no change. We are the byproduct of energy. Energy is the byproduct of I particle. I particle is vibrating energy. Vibrating energy. We are the byproduct of vibrating energy. For what purpose we born on earth? What purpose we are living on the earth? Always we are searching happiness. I want happiness. I want peace of mind. I want peace. I want happiness. All are always seeking happiness. Just think and analyze. When you get, any time you get happiness, that time you become still. This vibration tending to stillness. The fractions of stillness, like a movie, stills become movie. The same way, the stillness of vibrating energy, that informations we called equipment-based happiness. This is a frames, split of moment. That is only frames. We want infinite happiness. If you want to, we are searching that. If you want to reach that infinite happiness, you want to step down from the vibrating energy plane. Through the life, most of the people have no life goal. Only goal is I want to complete the education, I want to become a good job, I want this thing. Now, at the end, we are generating more and more desires only. All the desires behind on motivation. I want happiness. I want happiness. I want happiness. But nobody not at all enjoying real happiness. Only split up flashes only we are. We want to take the decision. My life not for taking the flashes. I want 100% happiness. At least through this life, I want to reach there. How I can able to reach that real total happiness? That's very important. Thought-based science and faith. We can purify our own self. The frequency we can reduce. And blackness, darkness, black hole, black energy, all the darkness, slowly we want to reduce. Reduce means not vanishing, removing, no. Our frequency, we are tuning. High frequency become low frequency. The thought free transparency going to increasing. More consciousness experience going to developing. With this body, we can able to enjoy a real total consciousness happiness also. With this body. When we are living this body, that time there is no separate entity. Vibrating energy become non-vibrating energy. That is called the total consciousness. All the human beings have such destiny. We can able to teach and make proper understanding. They never become a negative or negative person. They never destroy their own life. Never. Why the people wasting their life? They have no goal. Nobody not total teaching. What they taught, only the relative reality only. All the scientific theories based on relative reality. All the experience, relative experience. We have no permanent reality. Each and every individual need. I am using the tool, relative tool. This is a leg I am using for walking. I want to cross this relative reality, want to become real. Real reality, not relative reality, the permanent, total. That knowledge is very important. Science and faith for that. Life for that. Then only human being become real human being. Human quality starting from there. All the positive emotions starting from positive thoughts. Then only being become positive human being. We want to become a positive human being. We want to be must loyal to self, the same way loyal to the universe, because universe is my extension. When I expand, I become universe. Universe is receding from I. There is no separate entity. Here any person's agitated mind, creating the negative energy, is affecting everywhere. No doubt. Now you can feel, think this, now we are sitting different places. Just think, without any delay, time delay, we are interacting. The quantum plane There is no delay. The gap is the problem. Life, how to remove the gap? First, we want to start. The universe is not separate entity. It's my extension. Each and every individual needs this knowledge. Childhood onwards, this knowledge is very important. Then only they can love. Everybody is loving their own self, but nobody can love that way. Why? We are thinking, the universe is separate from us. That is the reason. That thought we want to remove. Education for that. First teacher, mother, want to provide that. Birth itself is declaring mother and self is not separate, connecting with the umbilical cord. Inside the womb, the part and parcel of the mother. The same way, the universe, not at all separate. There is an umbilical cord relation. The five elements to everything is totally connected. There is no separate entity. When we want to establish peace, when we want to enjoy the peace and happiness, this knowledge is very, very important. When we deny this reality, we are going to darkness. We are going to unhappiness. We are knowingly spoiling our own life. Enlightened people, all are knowledgeable people, they don't want misuse their life. They want to use and they want to become useful. Everybody want to become useful. This knowledge, this experience is very important. Self and universe, there is no separate entity. Universe is my expansion. Please remember, universe is not separate entity. Like our organism. Organs is the part and parcel of this system or the organism. The same way, universe is a part and parcel of self. That's why the reason we want to love everything in all ways. Then only we can be able to enjoy. If you want to maintain the real happiness always, this knowledge is essential. This knowledge with the chemistry, emotion also, that chemistry you call devotion or love, any positive thing, mercy, compassion, all these emotions, byproduct of that. We are thinking there is no separate entity. Anybody is suffering, we think self-suffering. That's why the reason we can be able to love. This practical knowledge and chemistry is very essential. For that, science and faith is essential. At the same time, this is not at all separate. Science and faith is the part and parcel of the single thought. Science and faith is a part and parcel of the I particle. There is no separate entity. So we think, okay, so we think somehow you can be able to get a good vision about this. Please think patiently, without any prejudice, analyze. When you feel it is true, put into practice. Life becomes bright and happy. That happiness is very essential. Please smile, all of them. Please, please laugh. This is a chemistry. Thank you.